He just needs to sleep.
Christ above! I can't get a wink of sleep.
What are you making such a fuss about?
A fuss? Because of my leg, I have to stay here for at least another week. Hurts like fuck. And with everyone else moaning and groaning all night, I can't get any sleep. Oh, then for...
These wounds have been well taken care of. Philip, from Skalitz. I don't see any wounds, but he's shaking terribly. He's not reacting. But all I can see that's wrong with him is his leg. I have to ask Johanka. Everything here is fine?
Yeah...
You're not from Skalitz?
No, but please help me. I can't...
What happened to you?
I was working on the building when the scaffolding up by the roof collapsed underneath me.
Well, and you're very lucky you survived at all.
Yes, that's what everyone tells me. But it's no use being alive if all I can do is lie here like a wet sack of barley.
Well, you're pretty battered, but I don't see anything that a few weeks' rest can't fix.
Weeks? My God, I have to get back to work sooner than that.
What's the problem? Why can't you stay until you heal?
I have a family. I'm poor. It's only thanks to the building work that we can survive. And the master told me if I don't come back in a few days, then I shouldn't come back at all. And where can me and my wife go then? Who'll take us in? We'll end up living in the woods, where any bandit or ruffian can set on us.
Is there anything I can do to help? It looks like they took care of your wounds.
When I was little, my father got trampled on by a horse, and an old hag from the village gave him some kind of purple herbs for it. And he got better very quickly.
And do you remember what the herbs were?
I don't. But there's supposed to be the whole cursed knowledge of the world in this place. Something has to be written about it. A herbarium. Anything.
I'll try to find something.
Thank you. Thank you.
What the...
You look all right?
Mostly, but my leg still hurts.
Did the humans wound you?
That's what I tell the ladies. Truth is, I did myself a mischief while I was running away.
And do they rebandage it for you?
Occasionally. They told me they don't have enough bandages.
Well, that's no use. Those bandages need changing. I'll get... I have the bandages.
Wonderful. Could you tell Brother Nicodemus?
I can do it myself.
I thought you were a blacksmith.
A long time ago. But unfortunately, I've had to learn a thing or two about the art of medicine since then.
Well, fine then.
I have the bandages.
Wonderful. Could you tell...
Nicodemus.
Thank you.
May the Lord watch over you, Henry.
How are you feeling?
Good. It feels clean. Hope it helped.
It will. Tell them to rebandage.
Thank you very much.
Don't mention it. He'll be able to get out of this on his own. Tell me more about the situation here. All right. What's wrong with that man by the altar? He doesn't look wounded, but he's really pale. Doesn't react at all.
He had a broken leg. A bad one. The bone had come right through the skin. We tried to straighten it, but I don't know if we did it right. I'm not holding out much hope for him. I've seen folk in that state before and it didn't end well.
My God, there has to be something we can do.
And what do you suggest? The monks won't help, and I don't know anyone else who can.
Well, I can try. I'll straighten his leg.
You?
Unfortunately, I've had occasion to try this sort of thing before. You have to place the bones as precisely as you can next to each other. It's hard, but you have to ignore any screams of pain. That's the only way to help him.
Well, fine. Try it then.
One of the sick men, Semek, is complaining about pain and the fact he can't work. He says he...
Semek? Is he one of our people?
No, he's a construction worker. He's bruised and confined to...
Henry, for God's sake, our neighbours are dying here. You're friends. There isn't time to waste on some construction worker's bruises. Oh, honestly, what were you thinking?
Listen, all I need to find out is the name of a herb.
Then go and look it up in a book. You've got your own herbarium, haven't you?
What happened to Philip?
Poor man. There was nothing wrong with him, and now he's getting worse every day.
But do you know why?
Maybe. He didn't run away from Skalitz, you see. He hid for days, among the corpses. If he got poisoned...
But what can we do?
Us? Nothing. Only Father Simon might have been able to save him. He knew a lot about poisons.
And where is he?
You know he left Skalitz years ago.
And does anyone know where he ended up?
If you believe the stories about a wild man in the woods, then Rovnar is the place to go.
Everything here is fine? I'm not needed here. Are you holding him firmly?
Aye. What is it? Jesus.
And who are you?
Brother Elias.
What do you do here?
What I can. I'm just trying to help the Skalitz locals as much as I can.
How long have you been helping here?
Since before the refugees arrived. It was much less crowded back then.
And what do you do here exactly?
Mainly, I help Brother Nicodemus. Occasionally, I keep watch at night in case
Henry,
someone
I'm
takes a
glad
turn
you
for the
stopped
worse.
by.
Sometimes I have to hold a patient down, or fetch and carry things.
Do you know anything about healing?
A little. I
God
can manage the
forgive you,
basics,
Henry.
but without Brother Nicodemus, I'd never be able to deal with the more difficult cases.
Thank you.
Welcome, Henry.
You're the one who's in charge of the wounded.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here. Time was I only had a few elderly monks who couldn't walk to take care of. Now I have this mess to deal with.
Monks so old they can't hold themselves up with their own legs.
Oh, if that were the only bodily function they could control. But I shouldn't talk like that. It's a blessing to live to such an age.
How are the wounded from Skalitz?
Some of them are well taken care of. But others are dying here needlessly. It's a good thing we have Johanka here. I'd never be able to manage on my own.
So you don't normally treat the wounded then?
Well, there were accidents, of course. A broken leg, someone who'd been kicked by a cow or bitten by a goat. But this, I've never dealt with the carnage of battle before.
If only it had been a battle. This was cold-blooded slaughter.
You were there? God be merciful to you and the dead and the wounded.
How can I help you?
Have you talked to Johanka?
I did.
Well, if you know something about it, then go and take a look. However, you don't look like you've studied the Hippocratic arts.
That's true. I'm the son of a blacksmith, but I have been around the wounded before. What do I do if I'm not sure of the treatment?
Come and speak to me. We'll see what we can do.
What do you think about the custodian?
Baron von Berg? Well, he does his job well. He keeps us safe here. And the last time I saw him was when I was rubbing ointment on his rash.
I heard he's been here a lot lately.
That's true. He comes to visit Johanka. But he's never here long, and he always leaves unsatisfied.
Thank you. Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other, and some have to sleep outside. That can't be good for them. It gets freezing here at night.
I can't afford anything more for them.
How is that possible? You're the infirmarius. You decide how all the money gets spent.
But I have no say in how much money I'm given. And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care of a few old men.
Can't you do anything? Won't the others help?
Unfortunately not. The brothers in the cloister aren't much interested in the external world, and the custodian has enough on his plate with the chaos in the region. Besides, his main concern is the smooth running of the monastery.
And the local custodian? His crew has enough provisions.
I tried him, but it seems he had some disagreement with Johanka, and now he won't give us anything.
I'll try to talk to him. I can't believe your conscience lets you leave the Skalitz locals in such a state.
I know. I'm shamed. But my brothers believe it's all in God's hands now.
Even so, conditions here seem to me quite unchristian.
You're not the only one.
I'd like to learn something from you.
And what can you do?
A bit of everything.
Can you now? But to be more precise, do you understand herbs and medicinal plants?
To be honest, not really.
So what am I supposed to do with you? Well, never mind. At least you'll learn something new. Go to the herb garden, take a good look at what's growing there, and then pull up the weeds in the herbaceous beds. Is that clear?
Clear. I can get cracking.
Not so fast. Have I even told you what I consider a weed? It's dandelions, stinging nettles, and thistles. Those plants have their use, but they've no business growing among the euphrasia and the mentha, or anywhere else in that garden for that matter.
I see.
Once you've cleared the garden of weeds, come back. And woe betide you if you pull up anything but weeds.
Don't worry. You've never had as good a gardener. How do I know which are the weeds?
You see, this is the part where you learn something. Look in the herbarium to find out what a dandelion, stinging nettle, and thistle look like.
Where is it they're not supposed to grow?
Between the mint and the eyebrights.
It's done.
Did you weed the beds and leave what should be growing there alone?
Not a leaf wait.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm going to check with my own eyes.
Do you know anything about her?
I'm not an expert, but I know a little.
Well, one of the workers who was injured during construction would like to get back to work. He mentioned some purple flowers that would...
Herbs.
Oh,
purple herbs that should help.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but you can have a look in the herbarium here. There won't be too many purple herbs for bruises and sprains.
I need help with rebandaging.
Hands? I know, but there aren't any bandages.
I have bandages, but I don't know how to put them on.
Then I'll be happy to help.
Some kind of disease has taken hold in Merhoyed. Johanka said that you might be able to advise.
A disease, you say? How intriguing.
Intriguing? It's terrifying.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound uncaring.
All right. The important thing is whether you can help us.
I can't say at this point. I need to find out a little more. Tell me, has the whole village come down with it?
No, I mean, not yet. Several households have, around half the village.
Merhoyed? Isn't there a stud farm there? And what of the animals? Did they get infected too?
Yes, there's a stud farm. And they've all died off. The horses, the cattle, chickens, and now it's got to the people.
That is most intriguing. Sorry, I mean to say it's most unusual. Do you know the symptoms?
Yes, more or less.
Excellent. I have several extensive volumes here in the library. Describe the epidemic, including the symptoms, and we could take some guidance there. Can you read?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. So follow me to the scriptorium.
So, where shall we start?
Evidently there's something amiss in the digestive tract.
In the what?
The digestive tract, Henry.
Right.
The trouble lies between the mouth and the arsehole.
Uh-huh. Sure. Just so.
We can rule nothing out at this stage. You look in the Breviarum de Sickness Causa. It's a renowned manuscript from Salerno, written by one Johann of St. Paul.
But I don't know Latin.
Fortunately for you, our brother librarian is translating these momentous medical works into the common tongue, so you can still be of use. Study the breviary carefully, and compare the symptoms with the recorded cases. That will guide us. I'll try the proven classics, Avicenna and his Canon Medicinae, and Galen's magnum opus, the Ars Medicinalis.
How about some potion to induce heavy sleep?
Certainly. The old reliable.
Reliable?
Some of the brothers like a good sleep, and sometimes that's the only way to get one. I'll show you how.
Thanks. Would you teach me more about alchemy?
Certainly.
Well,
think I have it.
Yes? And what do you make of it?
It's poisoning from tainted water.
Really? That sounds rather unlikely. But if Master Johann of St. Paul's says so, who am I to contradict him? We shall have to prepare some medicine at once.
I don't think I can help out with that.
I didn't expect you could. You surprised me quite enough with your... But enough chatter. Time is of the essence. I'll get to work brewing the potion, and then head straight...
That works for me. But can I...
Best spend the time praying.
And who are you?
Brother Elias.
What do you do here?
What I can.
How long? And what?
Sometime.
Do you know? Thank you.
Can I take a look inside the monastery?
What's got into you, boy? The grounds inside the monastery belong to the monks of the Order of Saint Benedict. No others shall pass.
I've been sent here from Talmberg. I'm to speak with the one responsible for construction.
Gotta be the master builder. Or with our brother, the overseer. What matter is it you're here about?
It has to do with the stone for construction.
Ah, then that's a matter of supply. You'll want to talk to the overseer. He knows more about that sort of thing. His study's right above us, more or less. Go up the steps to the left and then head back in this direction, almost the whole way.
So, here I am. How are things looking?
It's a good thing you're here. We need a helping hand. You can take the cure to the villagers and make sure they take the right dose. I'll take care of Melekar and Straw. You go around the rest of the houses.
They wouldn't let me go near that prisoner. They want him to suffer. Despite his terrible crimes, to treat a fellow mortal soul like that.
Perhaps I'll be able to convince them. I promised I'd bring them help, and I've kept my word. They must let me go to him.
I hope so, but in the short while I've been here, I found the locals to be rather stubborn.
Hey.
You're back?
Yes, and I have something to make you well again.
Good Lord above. Thank you for showing us your mercy.
Drink this and give it to everyone in the house. I've also brought someone who will take care of you until you get back on your feet.
Thank you, Good Samaritan.
You're back?
Of course. I always keep my word.
I don't doubt that, naturally. Did you deliver my will?
Not as yet.
Then be quick about it, please. A man on his deathbed must set his house in order.
Don't worry. I brought a remedy from Sasau. Drink this regularly, you and everyone in the house.
A remedy? You have hands of gold, pure gold, my boy. God bless you.
Brother,
Yes, the sled. Just you drink this and you'll be fine.
is this holy water, brother?
It is. Drink some, and give it to the others in the house too. Brother Nicodemus will come to check on you.
God be with you.
Henry, I'm glad.
Tell me more. Alright,
Look where you're going. What is it? What?
If you want to go... I am at your service, Sir Knight.
I need to talk to that captive.
Sorry, no one's allowed inside. Melikar's orders.
But I'm Sir Radzig Cobbler's envoy, and I urgently need to question the captive.
I don't care if you're the Pope's envoy. I can't let you in. If you want to talk to the captive, you have to get permission from Melikar.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I brought some help, as promised. Will you let me see the prisoner?
I will let you, I will. Of course I will. My boy, if you've really brought a potion to rid us of this scourge, I'll let you do anything.
Ah, whether I've managed to rid you of the scourge, that remains to be seen. It'll take a few days before we know whether the potion worked.
I know, but even so, just the fact that someone cares, that means a lot to us.
Thanks, Sir Radzig. He's the one who decided to help you.
Sir Radzig is a goodly lord. I swear I'll never utter another word against him. Now open up that shed.
Now let's wait and see what happens.
We found out what could be the cause of the affliction.
And?
You should check where your water's coming from. Nicodemus and I think that it comes down to poisoning.
It'd be hard to poison the spring, but what about the well? Good lord, that's difficult to believe.
I have my suspicions.
The bastards weren't satisfied with killing young Straw. The fucking bastards!
You're back?
Of course.
I don't doubt that. Did you deliver?
It lies...
What a relief.
God save you. Or gratitude. How are you, Henry?
What happened?
Horror of horrors.
Jesus Christ.
That's right. The Almighty has sent...
Thank you, that's all.
Over there!
You've been lurking around where you don't belong and ignoring warnings. Well, you won't forget this in a hurry, because it'll take a night.
Damn it. Here's your coin then.
You've paid for your crimes.
God's sake! There! Over there! Help! Over there!
Watch where you're going.
God's sake! There! Over there! Do something! My
You've made
God!
this-
Over there!
Welcome back to the land of the living.
Who are you?
My name is Henry, and I'm investigating on behalf of Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Oh, I see. You'll have an easy job with me, boy.
How so?
I won't give you any problems.
That's sensible of you.
I'm a sensible man. Only I'd like to get it over quick and not keep the Rattay executioner busy too long, if you catch my drift.
I understand.
What do you want to know?
Everything. First, tell me who's behind all this. Who do you follow?
I follow the coin, lad. We all do.
That's not news to me, but who pays the coin?
I got my pay from Runt, like all the men in Pribyslavitz. And Runt got his money from the chief, and the chief had the coin minted.
Who's the chief? The bandit leader?
Bandit? If he heard you say that, He'd have your head on a spike. That's the kind of man he is. Nobody knows much about him, though. Only that he ain't Czech.
So he's a foreigner? German?
Don't think so. For sure he ain't Czech. And he's got plenty of coin. I'd stake my neck on it. He's got noble blood in his veins.
Judging by how he looks?
More by the way he talks. Any man can dress up like nobility, but he spoke all la-di-da, like a lord.
Where's that chief of yours now?
I've no idea. After Privislovitz, he ordered us to raid Merhoyed, but he wasn't with us. He went off who knows where. I don't reckon he'll be out of your hair for long, though.
So the chief is in command of all these operations?
You could say. I'd say you're looking at it all wrong, though.
How's that?
You ask who's in charge and who answers to who, only this ain't some noble court. There was all sorts of gangs in Privislovitz, big and small. Robber barons who had their own brigades calling them my lord, and common footpads who hadn't a pot to piss in. Men came, men went. Lots of squabbles, the occasional murder. Old cronies and old rivals were meeting. Know what I mean?
I suppose so.
It was one big muddle. The main thing was nobody asked questions. I didn't give a damn who the chief was or what he had in mind or whether he had one ball or two. All I was interested in was the coin.
Uh-huh. How did you know about Privislavitz? Who took you there?
A fellow by the name of Moorcock. We met near Kuttenberg. I was robbing burghers who were fleeing the town from Sigismund's army. We got to talking and he told me about Privislavitz.
Why did you attack Merhoyed?
The chief himself gave us the order. I reckon he wanted to show the local lords he was nowhere near finished.
So he's planning more raids?
The chief's always planning something. Privislavitz was only the start.
So you knew the coin was counterfeit?
Course I did. I brought those groschen to Privislavitz, along with a few other things.
Did you? And where did the forgeries come from?
Like, where were they made? I don't know. Some merchant by the name of Menhart gave them to me. We used to meet at the charcoal piles near Rovna, by the crossroads there. As it happens, I'm supposed to be meeting him there about now.
So Menhart's waiting there?
Might be, might not. He could have heard what happened in Privislavitz and decided not to show.
And does this Menhart know where the coin comes from?
How should I know? To me, he's just another link in the chain. I deal with him, and I never ask who he deals with. Just like he knows nothing about me.
I see. So I suppose there's no point asking you if you know any more about him.
It'd be a waste of breath. All he did was give me the coin, and then we went our separate ways.
Who else knows about the money?
Apart from the chief, Menhart, Runt and me, there was a few others. The men got some real money too, with the false stuff. It'd be suspicious if they only had freshly minted coin.
You said you used to bring other things. What were they?
Letters. Menhart would give them to me for the chief. This time I was taking an answer back to Menhart too.
Have you still got that letter?
Aye. The yokels round here ain't got much interest in correspondence, apparently.
Give it to me then.
I'd be delighted.
What were the letters about?
If I knew how to read, I wouldn't be trusted to carry letters, would I? I took them from Menhart to the chief and back. That's all.
That's all I need to know for now.
For now, for the love of Christ, boy, don't let the executioner interrogate me. I've already told you everything I know.
That's for Sir Radzig to judge.
old Straw's come for the brigand.
Step back from that heathen, young fella.
But you can't kill me. Not just like that.
Shut the fuck up, you weasel, and keep it fucking shut. You don't even get a say.
Calm down, Straw. He won't escape justice. After all, he's...
Don't stand in my way, Melikar.
Let Henry decide. He's the one who saved his life.
Let's talk about it.
To hell with that. That horse'll kill my boy. He won't leave Mariah alive.
I've got no time for your drunken babbling, Straw. That bandit is going with me, and if you try to stop me, you'll get hurt. Is that clear?
Strong words for a stripling like you. We'll fight for him, if that's the way you want it. We'll soon see who's left standing.
Are you out of your mind? You want to fight over this worthless bandit?
Ha! Shit yourself, have you, boy? I might have known.
I've got no time for your drunken babbling, Straw.
Strong.
Then let's not waste any...
If that's how you...
He killed your boy, Straw. You can't let him get away with that.
Give us that box.
Kill the fucker! Kill him!
Hey, Henry's come to see us.
have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Greetings. What business have you?
May I be of service, my lord?
Yes, Henry. Chief Engineer Fafar has been asking for someone reliable to assist him.
The chief engineer? Is it about Skalitz?
In a manner of speaking. Master Fafar has, well, evil forebodings. I think he may want to send you to the Skalitz mines.
Can they really be restored?
Everything can be rebuilt with enough will and resources. Well, everything except a man. You'll get the details from Chief Engineer Fafar. For the time being, consider yourself his handyman.
Certainly. Where do I find him? Is he here in the castle?
Where? Now that's a good question. He ought to be somewhere at Perkstein unless he's gone off to deal with some problem or other. Look around. You're bound to run into him.
Well, thank you. I'll go and see him straight away.
Good luck, Hal. Greetings. What business have you?
I've returned from Merhoyed, sir.
How does it look there?
I brought them help from the monastery. Brother Nicodemus and Johanka from Skalitz. Fortunately, Nicodemus was able to cure the disease. Well, at least what he's doing looks promising so far.
Thank Christ. Some good news for a change. What about the captive? Did you question him?
He was infected too.
I see. Did he survive?
Fortunately, he survived and I had a chance to question him.
What did you find out?
He was transporting the false coins to Pribyslavitz. He got them from some merchant called Menhart.
I don't know him.
Neither do I. But I know where the money's handed over. It's not far from Rovna, and this Menhart should be waiting there about now.
Excellent, Henry. We mustn't let this opportunity slip through our fingers. You go there and put pressure on this Menhart to tell us what he knows. Don't go yet. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. You haven't disappointed me. Nothing against Bernard, Robert, or any of those others. But none of them could find out as much as you. At least not without beatings and torture. And that doesn't always work. You're a godsend, lad.
Thank you, sir.
Now go and find out who's behind everything, and then we'll deal with them.
Yes, sir. Sir.
What is it?
Sometimes I ask myself what it all means. Why does God allow such things to happen? All this slaughter and revenge, over and over.
It's a hard question. I'm no theologian. But long ago I came to the conclusion that the only thing that makes sense is that it's all a trial. Life is one long series of problems to solve. The more you solve, the better a man you become.
I never thought about it that way.
Well, just look at the pampered ones who have no concerns in life, like young Lord Capon, for instance. I shudder to think how he will rule when his time comes. Tribulations spawn in life over and over again, and we must stand our ground and face them. So, I go to Sasso and solve this one.
You can rely on me, sir.
luck, son.